When we started looking at regulations and the ability of my staff to go out and to inspect tattoo establishments, we became very aware that Connecticut had no regulations per se, and that they were doing some procedures that were fairly medical. And it was being done by unlicensed people with no oversight or very minimal oversight.
Being chairman of the Special Projects Committee, I had to do the regulations, the new regulations that came down from the state. So we had a committee meeting, and we realized that there was no licensing, no regulations over tattoo artists. So I started by going to, well, my committee was very unhappy about that. And since I know Speaker of the House, Brendan Sharkey, I got in touch with him and I asked him, is there a way that we can get a bill in front of the legislature to be able to get tattoo artists licensed?
It was through a conversation I had with Myra Rochow at the post office in Hamden, where we oftentimes meet, and she raised this question about why it is that tattoo parlors are not more closely regulated by our health departments, and it made sense to, her idea made sense, and it made sense to introduce a bill.
He brought a bill up, and it went in front of the Public Health Committee. And as a matter of fact, I went up with my husband and we testified in front of the Public Health Committee, and they voted upon it, and it passed unanimously. 28 votes in favor of licensing tattoo artists.
I think most folks would be surprised to realize that someone who is doing something with your body like tattooing is not otherwise regulated by their local health department. It's a profession that I think requires some oversight. And when Myra and Walter brought this issue to my attention, it certainly made sense to me that we should at least explore it and find out what happened.
The tattooing or body art, living art if I may, is becoming big, and it's becoming big amongst many of our youth, and they're unaware that they are being tattooed by perhaps people that are unschooled in the prevention of infections or other complications of puncturing the skin.
Tattoos have become very popular in our society, and there are real professionals. The folks who perform these services are true professionals and artists. So I'm hoping that one of the byproducts of this legislation is that we'll actually be protecting and enhancing those professionals in this industry, and weed out those who are not performing those services as reputably as they should be.
I was very happy that in speaking with Speaker of the House, Brendan Sharkey, we were able to get this bill in to be raised and passed by the Public Health Committee.